everybody, it's Grant, and I would personally like to give a warm welcome back to Nicholas Fontenot. He has been on our channel once before, and we are very excited to have you here.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm excited to be back and chatting more about business.
I just want to take a second to let you know, not only am I affiliated with this company, but we are sitting here with someone who has created a nationwide company, from absolute inception. Now Main Squeeze has 50, 60, 70 locations sold. They're making Forbes lists. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, Forbes, you're right, did an article and obviously my name was in it. It's cool to see yourself in Forbes for sure.
Right. The last time we asked the audience, and they commented that they'd love to hear how to actually create something.
Yeah.
They're always, a lot of young people these days want to talk about drop shipping and all these other things, but creating an actual business, whether it be a marketing company or a franchisable company, pretty huge.
No, it is. There's the potential for owning your own franchise is the sky's the limits. It really is.
Especially if it's duplicatable to someone else. Well, and the franchise we're actually going to be talking about, and the creator of this exact franchise, one that I bought into because I not only believe in the product, but I believe in the creator, is Main Squeeze. And as you've seen in a lot of videos, we'll do a little B-roll of them, but a lot of videos where we're actually teaching you about franchising through my experiences. And then now, not only are you going to have that, you get to actually have the creator of Main Squeeze tell you how he thought about it, how he did it, and how it became to what it is today. So how do you go about creating the idea of Main Squeeze? How do you go creating this actual franchise and going from there?
Yeah, so the story behind Main Squeeze is I didn't create Main Squeeze actually to be a franchise. I thought we might have up to 2 locations probably was my initial goal. But initially I created it for my sister, and the quick story goes is that we were at Christmas one year. We were buying my dad something for Christmas one year, and I went to, it was like $300. I went to my brother, asked for 100, went to my sister, asked for 100, and she was like, "Well, I don't really have $100." And I'm like, oh my goodness. At this point she's probably 22, 23, and she didn't have $100 to her name. So I was like, I need to do something for her, and I was just always in the back of my head. And so shortly after that, she came to me, really upset. She owned a yoga studio downtown Lake Charles. And the shopping center, or the doctor who she was subleasing from, said, "Hey, I'm selling the building. You have to get out." And so she was like, "I have to tell all my yogis that we don't have a place to, practice anymore." And so I said, "Miranda, don't fret. We're gonna find you another spot." And then I started looking at her numbers to see what she could afford, and it was nothing. Just the what she was subleasing for is about all she could afford, which is I think $500 a month. So I knew that she needed to be on Nelson Road, which is where we opened the very first Main Squeeze at. And so I started looking at places on Nelson Road, but knowing that she really couldn't afford it, I knew we needed to find something else to create to go along and pair with it. And so I was just scouring the internet, and she actually came to me with the idea and said, "Well, what if we sold juice in the front of the studio?" And I said, "That's rent on Nelson Road is $4,000, $6,000 a month." I'm like, that's a lot of juice, So I said, we need more than that. That's not gonna do. And so I started really scouring the internet and kind of learning more about the juice industry, because at the time Lake Charles didn't even have a juice bar. The only smoothie place we had in the time was like Smoothie King. Mm-hmm. And so I knew Lake Charles could something could be here that could do well. And so I found something called the superfood smoothie industry. And so within the superfood smoothie industry, for example, like Smoothie King, it's like 50% ice, if not more than that. And then they use syrups and sugars and fillers. Yeah. But the superfood smoothie industry is, you take like fruit and vegetables and you freeze them and you put them with like fresh pressed juice all in a blender, and that's a superfood smoothie. So I was like, man, this is really cool. And believe it or not, how it came to be was some franchise, I don't even remember their name, but they posted all their financials online on their website. And I think it showed they did like $500,000 in their first year or something like that. And they had pulled a pretty good profit. And I was like, man, this is pretty good numbers. So I pulled the numbers, put it into my spreadsheets, and sent it to my business partner, Carl. And we ran the numbers, and I was like, so I called up Miranda. She's like, "So can we sell juice in the front of the juice bar? And can we do it?" I'm like, "No, we're not going to do that." But I had much bigger plans. I was basically going to build a whole full restaurant or juice bar in the front of the store, and that's kind of how it happened, you know. So, but I can't do anything halfway. I wanted when people to walk in, and we could show you guys a picture of what it looks like. I wanted when you walk in, I wanted you to not feel like you were in a small town. I wanted it to feel like maybe you were in like an Austin or a Dallas or somewhere that, you know, wasn't Lake Charles. So hired an interior decorator to help me design it, and then came up with a really cool logo and a really cool name even at that point. And that's why I like creating. You know, you literally start from scratch. You don't have a logo. You don't have a name. You don't have a menu.
I'm going to interject here because the funniest thing, my thought process of business, their thought process of business, and yours, all totally different. Mm-hmm. And even though we're very like-minded,
yeah.
He has another layer to just I'm a boots on the ground, point me in the right direction, and I can sell, I can do, but creating is different. So let me explain. I am driving off Nelson Road. Y'all had just put the sign up.
Okay.
And beautiful, beautiful black and gray sign, absolutely hints of white, gray building. I'm driving by, I was like, wow, that's a juice bar. You know, I was going to Paradise Smoothie before they closed down. So that was one that I was going to. And then, of course, Smoothie King when I was in college, getting the Hulk. You know, I think those calories stuck. But what ended up happening as I drove by, I was like, man, that's really nice. That's really cool. And then I wanted to know more about Main Squeeze because it didn't look like a mom and pop shop. It looked epic.
Yeah.
And when me and you talked for the first time about Main Squeeze, he had brought it up. We were at a concert together, and he was like, yeah, no, Main Squeeze. I said, oh, you jumped into that Main Squeeze franchise I saw on Nelson. He goes, no, I built it. Blew my mind.
Before diving into anything, I like to pick the people's brain who's already done it. And so I found a guy out of Vegas who juiced for all of the casinos there. And so we picked his brain on how he did it, how he came up with his recipes, and to help us maybe even cultivate our menu. And man, I tell you what, you know, we learned a lot, but it definitely wasn't enough, because the day we opened our doors, kind of fast forward 6, 8, 12 months, the day we opened our doors, we had a goal in mind of doing about $1,000, $1,500 a day tops. And we thought we juiced enough, and we didn't even hire employees. Like, we were all doing it ourselves, and we were just really we're just going to figure it out. And so we didn't even do any marketing. We just turned on the open sign, and I think we posted one post on Facebook that says, hey, we're now open.
Blew up.
Yeah. I mean, we had, by 3 o'clock, we sold out of everything. We had to close.
But yeah, so y'all went, you created the recipes. I remember the Vegas story with the chef and the
Vegas,
guys and all the, and so you did that.
Yeah, we actually flew him down even to come help us too. Yeah.
And you picked others' brains. You did all those other things. You know, when it comes to the interior decorator, all those other things. And the coolest part about it is if you have the right look, you have the right people, you have the right processes. Profits and stuff will take care of themselves. It might not be the easiest journey, because it's just not. Yeah. But at the same time, you know, I feel like what I would call y'all was the Main Squeeze effect, and it was the weirdest thing. Even though I had bought I barely had just bought a franchise. I'd be but when you're looking for it, I'd be at the casino having a drink with Kayla, and somebody would just be next to me talking about Main Squeeze. Yeah, this continued for up till now. Yeah. And they've tried to open other juice bars, but Main Squeeze has such a hold on this city because of just the way it looked, the way it is, the way it was, and just it blew up.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it really did. And I guess we can kind of jump now into the story of how it became a franchise.
Meat and potatoes again.
Yeah. So it's a funny story. So again, I didn't create this for a franchise. I had, believe it or not, I had a 5-year plan on making my money back and paying myself back on building the Main Squeeze and the yoga studio. And so, but customers they just latched onto this product, and I think Lake Charles was needing something for so long like this. And you know, give you a quick little sneak peek of how successful it was. In less than 12 months it took for us to be debt free.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and it all starts with making healthy easier.
See what it did there? Easier,
that's a slogan.
Yeah. So, but how it became a franchise was our Cintas lady came and dropped off some towels to us one day, and she walked in and she said, "Oh my gosh, what is this place? You know, like this is so cool." And so
this was Tabitha.
This was Tabitha.
Of course, it was Tabitha.
Yeah, this is Tabitha. And so she just fell in love with the look and the brand, and she hadn't even tasted at this point. So I, you know, just me being me, and just, you know, her like being blown away. I said, "Come on back, let me show you." You know, and we let her try a few juice and smoothies. She's like, "Oh my goodness, this is incredible." She's like, "If you ever want to open up one in Lafayette or franchise this out, let me know. I want to be the first one." And I said, "Tabitha, I'm sorry, but That's not what I'm doing. I created this for my sister. Yes, I know the franchise game because I had my cell phone repair company already that we'd grown to 5 or 6 different states already. But I said, this is for Miranda. This is not to grow to a franchise. She said, well, if you ever change your mind, let me know. And so she, every week or 2 weeks, she would come in. She would say the same thing. Are you ready? And I said, no.
She's a hustler.
Oh, yeah, she really was. I said, not yet. And it's, so finally after, I say a few months of her beating me down, I said, somebody's willing to write you a check and they believe in your brand that much. You probably should consider
listen.
it. And so, yeah, man, we finally decided to ink the deal with her and her and Jeff, and they were the ones who bought the first franchise, which they wanted Lafayette. Typically with a franchise, you typically have 2 to 3 open locations of your own, what was called corporate stores at that point. And you show success with all 2 or 3 over like 3 to 5 year span. That's how typically a franchise works. And that way you can show, hey, I was successful at this not once, not twice, but 3 times in 3 totally separate markets. And then so that way you have a proven path of success no matter where you are. And so Main Squeeze was definitely a one-off exception to the rules, if you will, because it's, you don't typically sell a franchise within your first 6 months of being in business.
And then after how many total years? Was it 2.5? And then y'all sold it to a celebrity, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So after, again, I'm kind of like, I'm the creator. And once something is successful and it's running and has its own feet, I'm kind of like on to the next.
Sure.
So we had weekly calls of how they were, how many they sold, how many were opening, what the strengths and the weaknesses were. And I was kind of, on the board helping out the IT side, building the systems, and all that.
Amazing.
And so, we would have weekly calls, and that was about the extent of my role in the company. So they took care of the sales and the marketing side and all that. So.
So after 2.5 years, y'all sold it to Marcus Colston. Was what I was kind of.
Marcus Colston. I think there was an equity firm that took some of our because me and Carl, my business partner in this, we own majority of the company.
Sure.
And so when we sold out, they had to get a handful of different partners involved.
Sure.
To buy us out. But I think Marcus Colston was one. I think Thomas Morstead bought some of that. I think. And there was an equity firm.
And if you don't know those names, we are from Louisiana. That is a lot of the New Orleans Saints players. So NFL players. He's growing left and right, and it's coming out to where he's selling to celebrities with all his cool companies. So it's very neat.
One thing with franchises is you have what's called an Item 19, okay? And so when you're buying it's in an FDD, franchise disclosure document. So when you're buying a business, you have to hand this over to potential franchisees. He got it, so we had to show him our FDD.
Everything.
And you have to show how much it costs to start, how much it costs to build it out, how much it costs to, how much in product you're gonna have to buy, the training and everything A to Z and own in that franchise. And it shows you how many stores you've opened, how many stores you've closed, how profitable they are. And so you really have to show them everything and let them decide if it's the right move for them. So supporting these franchise locations is so important. Because if they close or they're not successful, it's over.
Yeah, nobody's going to want to go do that.
And typically the first thing that whenever new franchisees come on board and they're like, I want to be a part of this brand, their first question is going to be, let me go talk to one. Because if he's been doing it for a year, he's been successful for 2 years, whatever, I want to hear from his mouth, not yours.
Yeah.
And so if they're not happy, then you're not going to grow. And so it's really tough owning a franchise. However, if you can do it and it could be successful, it is the ultimate mailbox money.
Yeah, my store during the summer months is projected. Let's go with projected because last year in 2020 we still did good, but I don't feel like that's fair to use those because there was a lot of quarantines and shutdowns.
Yeah.
But what we are projected to do, I think we'll touch 70,000 a month, which is still not Lake Charles numbers, which is crazy. Lake Charles market, me and you know it well, but it's just an anomaly because I'm in Sugar Land where the population is infinitely higher,
way higher.
So but my store still is trying to get to the numbers there were,
and not just higher.
We're still doing good.
Not just higher as far as population, but even the average household income is like quadruple what it is here in Lake Charles. Again, if you're looking to, if you feel like you have a successful business and you're looking to franchise it, just know that it can be done. It is a lot of work, but it is a completely different business. And the first step in it is finding a really good attorney that can write that FDD for you and that can guide you in this process.
Yeah, and so liability is always definitely a huge thing in any of this. And it's funny, when somebody will say, oh well, what should I do between a franchise and doing it myself? I mean, it is a lot of work to go create, do, design, figure out, build an operating system that's not with pen and paper. And speaking of liability, we are not telling you to go and build a franchise. We're not telling you to do any of those things. He has a severe, major successful background in this, so I thought it'd be an amazing thing to bring him on here to tell you. But, do at your own risk. We are just doing this for entertainment purposes only. A little disclaimer right there. But no, for sure. Let's see. What else did we miss here? Let's really dig deep. So we've got product, development, which is huge.
Yeah, you can't, if you don't have a product to sell and it's not successful, if you can't make it successful, you certainly can't sell it to other people to make it successful.
For sure. And then the best thing to do, healthy that tastes great. I mean, come on. It's either do the cheeseburger or taste something that tastes amazing, and they all do. Everything at Main Squeeze tastes amazing.
That's great. Yeah.
I don't even think I have any viewers in Sugarland. I'm just telling you, if you do, comment below. I'll give you a coupon. We're gonna get you commenting.
There you go.
But you got the not the location, but that's still Nelson Road done in our locations. Even if you got to pay a little bit more versus getting the cheap rent where nobody's going to go.
Well, and let me make a point on that because
sure.
I like to tell people looking at real estate is, to buy a billboard, let's just say on the busiest road in town, may cost you $2,000 a month, $2,500 a month, and I guess in whatever markets is different. But let's just say $2,000 a month, and then let's just say you go cheap on rent. So instead of $3,000 a month in rent, you get the cheaper $1,500 or $2,000 a month, business. Being on the busier road is going to show that you're already successful. I mean, perception is reality. So if you have a business on the busier road in town, people are going to go, wow, they must be super successful. And so that kind of breaks down that first barrier. And secondly, again, if you're paying for a billboard to help people know where you are, and maybe it's not a billboard, maybe it's Google ads, maybe it's Facebook ads.
Something, mailers, ancient technology.
Yeah. But if you're if you have to tell people where you're at by advertising, then what money are you really saving? So I would rather spend my money, save my advertising dollars, put it into my location, and have A+ location. And again, when you're buying into a franchise or you own a franchise, you typically have a real estate team that works behind you, and so finding the right location is everything.
That's actually something that they also put into place with Retail Solutions and all those other companies. Yeah, so there's another part to it too. There's so much more into this. We're going to try and find a couple more things just to see. But if you want to see more of this, maybe in a couple more months or something, we'll come back to this after they've had a little bit of time to process these last two videos, or this video as well as the last one.
Maybe we could even take a Q&A in the comments.
That would be cool.
So you guys leave us some questions in the comments of what questions you may have.
You plan the next video.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
That would be awesome.
Let them ask the questions. We'll answer it in the next video.
And the cool thing about that, we won't limit that to Main Squeeze. We won't limit that to franchising technically. He doesn't do just brick and mortar stores. His favorite passion is digital businesses. Yeah. Like he does some crazy stuff that I don't understand, Yeah. So and it's just crazy, how that works. He's got a whole nother side that he knows that I think you guys will enjoy, especially they like the drop shipping. They like those things, and a lot of people make a lot of money with those types of things. So yeah, sure. Comment below. You make the next video. I love that. I love that idea. That's it for the video, guys. We very much appreciate you. We hope that you enjoyed this. If you did enjoy this, please power up that like button, hit that subscribe button, and notification bell, because we have a ton of amazing content coming for you in 2021. So please comment anything you'd like to see in future videos. Please give him an amazing and warm welcome on the comments, as well as plan the next video. It's whatever you're commenting, we are going to put that in there as long as it's the majority rules. So that's what we're going to do, and we really are looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should be fun. I feel like I've watched numerous of your videos and I've read some of the comments, and you've got some pretty like-minded business people on there.
And they're so positive. So we very much enjoy you being on the channel. We very much enjoy all of your positive comments. And remember that we both, two very like-minded business people, believe in you. We know 100% that you can do anything that you set your mind to, and never, ever, no matter what, let anyone tell you any differently. We hope you have a fantastic afternoon, and we will see you on the next one.